Well, welcome to the Make It Count podcast. Most people think they understand health, and they're wrong. Not because they're not trying, but because what they've been taught to focus on isn't actually moving anything. Clint Fuqua has spent over 2 decades inside the health space, not watching it, working it, coaching people, building programs, and seeing up close what creates real change and what keeps people stuck repeating the same patterns. What stands out about Clint isn't just what he knows, it's how he thinks. There's a level of ownership in how he approaches health that most people haven't been exposed to. This isn't about quick fixes, so stay tuned. It's about how we show up, what we're choosing, whether we realize it or not, and what it actually takes to take control of your health and your life. Help me welcome to the podcast, Clint. Good morning, Clint.
Hey, how are you?
Good to have you. The topic of health is such a big one. For our audience, though, who may not know you yet, tell us a little bit about you and what experiences shaped what you do today.
Okay. First things first, I gotta thank Tammy Kling right quick.
Yeah.
Just because without her, we wouldn't be together today right now.
That's true.
Right. So, man, so you said 2 decades. It's closing in on 3. Okay. Note the silver in the hair and the grays. All right. So, my experience goes all the way back to most people in this industry were at one point athletes. I was the non-athlete. I was the student trainer. I was the guy keeping everybody healthy. Okay.
Mhm.
And luckily my family, very healthy. We talked, before we started this, we talked about generational wealth is an issue in generational poverty as well. Same thing with generational health and generational disease. I lucked out because my family's very healthy. Okay. My dad was taking me to the gym when I was born. My mom was like literally making all of my food. There was no baby food in the house. She like made it, blended it, fed it to me. Okay.
Yeah.
So like, that's my experience growing up. That's my entire life is mom's focused on the meals. Dad's focused on the exercise. Both of them are focused on this thing right here. Right. And so, which is making sure that from an education standpoint, I'm always thinking, I'm always questioning stuff like that, which is why people think I'm a little bit nuts at times, because I'm always questioning things that are going on. But yeah, that's been it for, I'm closing in on 50 now. And hold on, I'm going to bring somebody in right quick because I'm in my office right now.
Oh,
and go ahead. Oh, speaking of, I'm going to talk about him later on, but that's my business partner, Ray, right there.
Hi, Ray.
I can't hear you.
Yeah.
Hope you can hear me.
This is how we roll. Good
No,
to see
this
you.
is not my purse.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So yeah, that's my experience. Is it's a very education is huge. My mom was a professor, a college professor, a business owner, et cetera. Right. My dad, police officer. My mom was also a teacher, so I mean, she taught at Texas Tech, alternative school, stuff like that. So like that's where I came from. So everything is reading everything, questioning everything, maintaining everything. My both grandparents military, Marines, so everything is very. Anybody that knows me knows everything is in order. It can't not be in order. But that's kind of the start of it, right? And for everybody else out there to realize it starts with the parents and the grandparents going into the kids. So whatever the grandparents and the parents are doing, the kids are probably going to do, even if they revolt for a little bit in their teens, because they're supposed to. That's what they're supposed to do. They're supposed to
Try to find their own independence, their own ideas.
Yeah. Right. But once they hit their 20s, 30s, they're going to be doing what you were doing, right? Yeah. So you have to be careful with what are you doing, because they literally are going to do that. Unless they make that mental shift, like you were talking about earlier, and they make that mental break, and they feel like, I'm going to be the one that breaks this chain. But it takes a lot to do that, because your family thinks you're nuts at that point, usually.
Until you said generational health, I hadn't considered that. And you're right. If I think about it, as an NLP coach, most of our beliefs are formed by the time we're 7. Actually, most of them before the age of 4 or 5, and relationship with money by the time we're 7. That's why it kind of goes generationally, right? The
Oh yeah.
reality is, though, is once we're aware of something that either does or doesn't serve us well, we have a conscious opportunity to change it.
Yeah, that's so people get stuck in that and they'll use it. So like we look at genetics. Everybody's doing genetic testing, DNA testing. You know, what's in my genes, right?
Yeah,
What diseases do I have in my genes? My grandmother had diabetes. My mom has diabetes. I'm gonna have diabetes, right? Well, it's there. Yes, that doesn't mean you have to have it. It
right.
means you have higher potential. However, you could go a different route
Yeah.
and be the one that starts changing that. Just a little segue on that, because I've done a lot of study on genetics, epigenetics, stuff like that. Epigenetics is way more powerful than genetics. Genetics is just the code. Epigenetics is what turns the code on and off, right?
Epigenetics.
Epigenetics. That
How
means
do
the
you
food you
spell that?
eat.
I'm gonna drop it in the chat for people.
So EPI genetics, epigenetics. That means what you eat, your exercise, daily habits, all that stuff, right? These are the things that influence genetic expression. You got genes. Are you going to express the good genes or the bad genes, right? So,
Yeah.
and for anybody that starts trying to break that chain, yeah, you can. Now, are you going to see it in yourself? Maybe. Okay. Yeah, you will. Your kids, yeah, if you start before the kids,
Right.
yes. Okay. I did one whole show about this specifically about, a year before you have kids. If you're planning, then you better set your kids up for success, which means change your diet, start exercising, start doing all the stuff that you want for them.
Hmm.
Start doing that. So literally you have to shift everything in your life to make sure that they get the best of everything, right? It's like setting up a savings account for them. Double bonus on the Trump accounts, by the way, that start up this year. But so yeah, from that standpoint, you can affect the outcome for yourself. Yes. Like, are you going to get in shape? Are you going to be healthier? Yes. If your entire family has been large, obese, whatever, for the past past 2 generations, okay, are you still going to be bigger? Yes. Can your kids maybe not be? Yes. Can your grandkids be super healthy? Yes. Right. So it's not about you. It's about the kids and the grandkids. It's the whole plant a tree theory. You plant a seed in the ground. Are you ever going to see that tree? Maybe not. But future generations will, and that's why you plant it. Right. So it takes a lot of future thought. It takes a lot of 25, 50, 100-year planning, which a lot of people aren't adept at doing because everybody's looking at Friday and the weekend. Well, we need you to look at the weekend 150 years from now. And conceptually is really tough for a lot of people. I get that. Me, I live that every day. It's that's why people are like, man, you're talking about soon. I'm like, that's like 30 years from now. Okay, just my soon is not your soon. But so from that standpoint, yeah, yes, you can set up your future generations for more success. Kind of like somebody comes in, they start a business. You build it. Are you going to be successful? Yeah, probably a little bit. The next generation takes it, they build it, they grow it a lot. They build a lot of wealth. Hopefully the third generation expands on that and they don't just spend it all and waste it.
Yeah.
And genetics and epigenetics are the same thing. It takes one generation to absolutely wreck your genetic profile. What's going on with your genes, right? Turning on the bad genes. It takes 3 generations of doing the good stuff to get it to go. Usually the same thing for wealth when you start looking at legacy wealth, stuff like that. One generation creates it, second generation builds it, third generation either builds it up to where it will never go away or they collapse it.
Yeah. Well, and you said that if people made those changes now, they wouldn't necessarily, they benefit from it, but not as much as their kids would.
Yeah.
When I think about people who lose a lot of weight, right? 100 plus pounds, whether it's assisted with surgery plus working out, they lose all this weight. Tell me if I'm correct with this, because you're in the health industry. I'm not. This is just my NLP brain. The challenge of the ones who keep it off and the ones who don't keep it off is changing their mental and emotional relationship with whatever got them to that obesity point to begin with.
Yeah, you literally have to become a different person, okay? Which is tough, right? You pretty much are getting rid of everything that you've ever had and known to
Right.
live a brand new, different life. And that's the thing that really keeps people from losing weight, getting healthy, because of that loss, right? I'm about to lose all this. I'm probably gonna lose some friends. I'm probably gonna lose some family. There's a lot of loss in
Oh,
that, not just the
yeah.
weight, but a lot of that weight is there because of those things, right? Whether it's from stress, emotional dysfunction, whatever.
Right.
Which is why there's a lot of weight gain outside of just the crappy food supply, stuff like that. We can talk about that later. But just this thing here will keep it on you, it's insulation, it's protection from the outside world at times,
Yeah.
or it is a place of comfort, right? Comfort food.
Yeah.
So, there's that piece of it, and it's okay. If I give all that up, what am I getting in return? So you have to look at what am I getting back? What's my new life going to be? Who are my new friends going to be, right? Because you
Yeah.
will lose some friends. You will lose some family too, because you'll have family members that are like, well, I can't walk that path with you. I don't want to do that. Why are you doing this? You've gone nuts. You've gone crazy, right? You need a sandwich here. Eat some. um, and but yeah, it's there's that mental shift, and it takes a while. Once again, for anybody out there, what she does with the NLP, before you go down this whole weight loss path of doing anything, doing surgery, taking GLPs, whatever you think the answer is for you for helping you get that start, this right here
Yeah.
this is the starting place. Because until this gets, I'm not even gonna say change. I hate the C word. Okay, people talk about change. Change is ambiguous. It's good or bad. Improvement is always better, right? You
Yeah.
have to improve this environment up here. You have to improve your thoughts. You have to improve how you think about yourself and how you look at yourself, because man, that mirror will play more tricks on you when you're doing the weight loss thing. Oh man, it will wreck your emotional state at times.
Yeah.
No matter where you're at in the spectrum. I mean, we're talking, you've got 100 pounds to lose, or you've got 5 pounds to lose. Sometimes the people with the 5 pounds to lose are more mentally wrecked with trying to lose that last 5 pounds than somebody that's losing 100, right? My buddy Jared Gwines, um, Jared's awesome. Okay, everybody be like Jared. So this guy has lost one of me. I weigh 150 pounds. He lost one of me. Okay, great guy. I love Jared, and he did it by changing his thought and mentality. Because I've known him when he was big, when he was like 300 some odd pounds, right? Incredible guy. And he finally decided, I'm done with this. I can't live like this anymore. And
Yeah.
dude, working out, the diet, everything. He does a lot of marketing too. Like he's
Mhm.
won, he set world records with some of his marketing stuff too. But because of that, he's got the mentality for going forth and conquering and winning. And you have to
Yeah.
look at it from that standpoint, which is, this is a thing I have to conquer and win, for myself, not for anybody else. This is for
Right.
me, and then eventually for the kids, the family, everything else. But more importantly, I got to do this for me so I can do the stuff I need to do in life. I've run a business, I've got a family, I've got whatever, right? You have to be healthy to do those things. You really
Yeah.
do. Because the stress load that's on you, I know, because I am one of these crazy, nutty people that runs a business. The stress load that you're going to get from that, from the family, from everything. I mean, dude, you talking about getting strong in a year and right?
Yeah.
Like this stuff in the gym helps out with some of the mental strength, because you have to push through a lot of pain, to get to where you can handle it and it's not painful anymore.
Yeah.
Or, you go on the crazy side and you start enjoying the pain a little too much. And that's when you start doing marathons. But so from that standpoint, it starts here. So anybody out there, get with somebody that does NLP. It can
Yeah.
help you work through this process. Get to where you can talk to yourself one-on-one in in the quiet when there's nobody else around, but it's you, yourself, and you.
Yep.
And that's when that voice in the back of your head has to be a cheerleader for you, and not the thing that's pulling you back. And that happens to a lot of people. Man, that voice in the back of the head is either rah, rah, go, or it's like, man, what are you doing? Right.
Yeah,
So,
a great exercise for people watching, right? Who may not have access to somebody with an NLP certification, which for people watching, by the way, that's neuro-linguistic programming. It's human behavior. It's how our brains think, transform. Here's the exercise, whether it's health or whether it's money. Sit down, you take paper, and you just write out, what are the things I believe or I've heard from my circle around health, and just start writing them down. You can do the same thing with money, right? Example one that used to get said to me as a kid was, money doesn't grow on trees, right? So, but if anybody watching, if you want to work on changing your mindset, write down all the things that you believe that you've heard around that scenario, in this case, health. Then look at them. Is it healthy or is it not? And if one of them is not healthy, such as, I deserve ice cream because I had a good report card, right? Let's just call one out that's out there, right? Ice cream as a reward. That starts to create an emotional behavior that when I do well, I'm going to have ice cream. As you look at the list, if you see things that don't serve you well, such as the ice cream as a reward, mark it out. And then next to it, what can you replace it with? Because the challenge is, Clint, is they may find what doesn't serve them, but they don't install something new.
mm-hmm.
So that same neuron keeps firing. So everyone watching, if you make the list and something on there's like, oh, that's probably not serving me in a healthy way, when you mark it out, you have to replace it with something that will. It's the same thing with coping skills, right? A lot of people get into bad eating, bad spending, bad choices, right? Because they don't have coping skills in life when things do get stressful. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. We literally have only gotten to 2 questions, so I'm going to jump to the third because you have so much to share. Let's see. A lot of these are about when you were a kid, and we've covered those.
So actually, I'll give you a quick kid tidbit right quick.
Yeah.
Jumping back on what you just said, right? So when I was little, okay, whenever I get a good grade on the report card, yes, I got the treat, which is we're going to go to Sonic and we're going to get you a drink, slushy, whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
The best bad thing happened doing that. I changed from my favorite slushy to, you know what, I want to get a float. And I got a root beer float because I love root beer. I love ice cream. Put them together. This is going to be awesome.
Yeah.
I hated it. The first sip, I was like, ugh, this is not what I expect. And I hated that treat so much that I never wanted to get that kind of treat again.
Nice.
So it was like, okay, you got Asian report card. Are we going to get slushies? I'm like, no, I don't want that. What do you want? So I came up with something else. I forget what it is. But yeah, from that standpoint, it's like, I don't really want the sweet treat because I made a change and it was bad. I really didn't like that one. Yeah. And the slushies are good, but I'd rather have something better than the slushies for making good grades. So.
Do you remember roughly how old you were? Was that elementary, junior high, high school?
Oh yeah, that was like 4th grade.
Exactly.
4th grade,
right?
5th grade, yeah.
The younger you are when we can make a change or we get a different belief or our parents give us different beliefs, the easier it is to install them because you're not so subconscious yet. For sure.
And there was also the whole, do you want us to pay for everything, right? Mm-hmm. But we get to choose what we buy for you, or you want to make an allowance and you get to decide what you use your own money on. I took the allowance.
Yeah. Agency of choice. That's everything comes down to kids and parents, my parents, your parents, all parents, right? Have best of intention. Mm-hmm. And sometimes as parents, we don't recognize what we might be installing. And if you want something different for your children, which all of us as parents do, even if you had a great life, you want your kids to have an excellent life. It's just, part of parenting. Be mindful as a parent. What are the things that I do? It's points of stress. How am I showing up on health when it comes to health? Because understand that your kids, especially if they're still, early junior high and younger, you are setting what their beliefs are, which just, again, makes it generational.
Oh,
Here's
yeah.
here's the
And
big one. You ready? I say big
yeah.
one. I think I got some good ones on here. What seasons of your life stretched you the most, and how did they change you?
Whew, oh man. Oh, say, so I got a big one, right? I got the lost everything story. Yeah, before I do that, I'm going to say just my parent, once again, I lucked out. Great parents. Okay. Mom, dad, grandparents, even though they got divorced when I was like really like 2. Um, my dad was like everybody's dad, and my mom
Yeah.
is Professor Mom. So she makes sure that um, but no, the biggie. So I did actually lose everything. Actually, I've lost everything 3 times. Okay.
Mm,
Um, and for different circumstances. But the biggie was I had all of my dream stuff. Okay. I had my dream job, dream car, dream girl, living the dream. I was working, getting closer to it. But so I was in, so for a little bit, I got out of, I was still training, but I was running a nutritional supplement company. Okay.
mhm.
High level. Like I'm helping run this company. I'm doing product formulation. I'm doing all the sales. I'm doing all of our national marketing.
Yeah.
I'm dealing with the UFC. I'm dealing with fighters. Back in the day, Matt Hughes and all those guys. That's right. I was hanging out with those guys. They were awesome too. A lot of other people writing contracts. I mean, really, literally living the dream. And
Right.
mixing and matching all that stuff. I was married to the point, I got her dream car. I got my dream car. All that stuff. Right. I mean, it was great. And then it all ended literally almost in a day. Okay. Got divorced, company collapsed. The owner made some really bad decisions that I didn't know about for several months, and then it went.
Mm,
Um, Marriage collapsed. Multiple other reasons for that. But I went from that to we're going to be able to sell this company, and we'll be retired in the next 2 years.
yeah.
Right? Like literally, I had it on track. In 2 years, we can sell this bad boy to somebody and life is ours. We
Right.
can go live and do whatever. And then gone. Christmas Day, I moved into a new apartment, no furniture, no anything, on the ground. Like that was it. That was my life for about a year, trying to rebuild because everything was gone. All
Mhm.
money, all everything. Still have my dream car for a little bit, but then engine blew. Um, so literally, it's one of the things, you know, even when you think you've got like the best ever,
Right.
big man upstairs will occasionally say, I got something better for you.
Yep.
And this was good, but there's better. And whenever that happens and everything gets taken away from you, get ready for better stuff to be given back. But you have
Yeah.
to work for every bit of it. It's not a
Yeah.
given, the opportunity is given.
Yeah.
And here's the opportunity, right? And that's where all this other stuff started with the books, shows, all the education stuff I do, everything else. So, that's how everything I've got now, including my business partner who just came back in.
Right. You're about to get on camera. You keep interrupting us.
Yeah, no, he'll love that. He's got an awesome show too, by the way. Ray's Take. If you're into track and field, he's the best track and field show you'll ever watch. It's hilarious.
Nice.
But so yeah, it's that stretched me more than anything else because whenever you do lose it, quite literally lose everything, and you're
Mm,
sitting there contemplating everything in your life, um, it gets you to get deeper into your faith, into yourself,
mm.
and figuring out why you're here and what you're really here to do.
Yeah.
And then you just you make the walk. Like literally, it's a walk of faith because you have no idea what's going to happen the next day. All you have to do is put one foot in front of the other and just walk that thing.
Yeah.
It's and it's a real question. It will question your faith a lot daily,
Of course.
as in, why am I doing this? Oh yeah, I remember. Mine came to me in a dream on my birthday. Big explosion. Although it's a recreation of a dream that I've had since I was like in high school, right? Here's what you're supposed to be doing. Here's where you're supposed to be. This
Yeah.
is it, right? And what I was doing before with the supplement stuff, I could have kind of done that, but Was I going to do it if we made it? I don't know. Now, like, I'm doing it. I'm quite literally building it block by block with him. And you never know who you're going to meet. So always be open to opportunities, because you dumb luck. I love talking about dumb luck because it just happens and it's there, and you like trip over it. Right. So, and you have to be ready to just, seize the opportunity when it happens. And you almost have to be dumb to be that lucky. Like, it's just there. So take the blessings as they happen and just roll with them.
Yeah.
And I know I segued myself out of that question somehow.
No, you're good. No, you answered it.
But that's kind of where it goes. Like, there's that going into college. I got a full ride going into college. Okay. This is the first time where I technically lost everything. Full ride going into college. A week before I'm supposed to leave, we get a notification, my scholarship has been pulled.
Why?
And it's like, what? So brand new head AD came in, fired the coaching staff, brought in his staff, reallocated any and all
resources,
monies,
right?
Resources for everything, right? So anybody that had a scholarship, it's all brand new contracts. You don't have a scholarship with this AD, right? So they reallocated scholarships, everything else. I'm a freshman coming in as a student athletic trainer. Okay. the audacity of having a student athletic trainer come in on a full athletic scholarship is, they're like, nobody does this. I'm like, well, you don't know who I am is the issue. Like, I'm doing full scale rehab programs as a senior in high school. I'm running 3 different sports. Like, I'm doing what your head trainer's doing. I'm not even at high school yet. I'm reading MRIs and X-rays and sitting up dealing with doctors, all that other stuff. And I'm like 18 doing this, right? I've also got that mentality of if I'm going to begin, I'm going to lead. I can't be the second dog. It just doesn't work. But yeah, that got pulled. And so I had to struggle through an entire semester of paying for everything now. I didn't think I was going to have to pay for. Luckily, I was doing construction work because I had a real job when I was in school doing construction. Thank you, Dad. But yeah, so having to pay everything. Luckily, my dad furnished some money on some of that. But after that first semester, like, I was done. I was so mentally, emotionally broken after that first semester of working my butt off and then getting I got a 1.5 GPA because I was never in class, never in school. I was traveling with multiple teams, which you're not supposed to do freshmen, by the way. And I was taking care of a high school football team. I was traveling with them. Like, I was unpaid doing 100 hours worth a week of work and just going and proving my worth, which is, here's why you guys are bringing me on this. And then end of the semester came and like, well, sorry, you had a 1.5 GPA. We can't give you a scholarship with that. It's like, but I'm like, well, yeah, but you're here for this. I'm like, second semester, deepest depression. Oh man, it was like, I didn't go to class. I didn't do anything. I think I got a 0.7 GPA that second semester because I was lost completely. Like, my entire future was, I'm going to go to West Texas A&M. I'm going to transfer off to either A&M or I'm going to go to Texas Women's University. Had a fantastic PT program, still do. And then hop on with the Cowboys and eventually be their head athletic trainer, right? That was progression. And then gone, freshman year, 18 years old, going, what do I do now? And then I got into personal training.
Well, and that sounds a bit identity. When John Patterson and I were chatting, his was in baseball, right? And when we anchor our identity in something that we do subconsciously, it's not intentional, rather than who we are, it's subject to be taken away from us like that. I want to circle back on a couple of things. The like when you said bad luck, in my mind, that's just divinity. right?
Yeah.
It looks like it might be luck. It looks like, oh my gosh, where'd this come from? That's kind of how it's supposed to look.
Mm-hmm.
I want to talk about success though, because when you were
Okay.
talking about the dream car, the dream job,
Mm-hmm.
right? The dream wife, it sounds like success was kind of defined by what marketing puts out there to say, if you have and you do these things, you'll be successful. Like this is success, right?
Yeah.
Since that happened in rebuilding, how do you define success now?
Well, success is how much you can give back to the world, which I've always had that anyway, right?
Yeah.
But funny enough, I've reincarnated the cars and everything, but there's certain things that you just want to have, right? There's certain things that you like, but it's more of success is about planning and working the plan,
Mhm.
right? Which anybody knows me knows I am a planner. Okay, literally, my whole day from the time I wake up till I go to sleep is planned down to the point of you must go to sleep at this time. Does it always happen? No. Do I scroll and stream and stuff like that at night? Yes. Okay, it happens because you got to have you got to let the
Right.
brain just go at times. So no, it's yeah. Success comes down to planning properly, working the plan, having some alternatives there as well because things don't always go to plan. When they do, it's incredible. But it was that was all kind of a process of planning and taking advantage of opportunities when they were presented, right?
Sure.
Until they're taken away, and sometimes things will just be taken away to teach you lessons and help you move forward in life. Or sometimes because you were stupid
Yeah.
at times. And then you think back and go, I could have done things better than I did.
Mhm.
So there's lessons learned, and then there is, okay, how do I improve and do better the second time around? And that's the biggie there. And once again, dumb luck, I like calling it dumb luck, but it is
It's all
blessings
good.
that are just there, right?
Yeah.
Because you can't plan them. They're unplannable events that just happen, and you just like stumble into them. I met
Yeah.
my business partner because of a logo on my shirt, and actually on his shirt, and no, my shirt, his shorts, same logo, two different companies, and then after that, now we're building our
Yeah.
own quote unquote empire of stuff to give back to everybody
Yeah.
and the athletes. So we notice the shirt Olympic, but we
Yes.
deal with a lot of athletes. Identity is a big thing, right?
Mhm.
A lot of people get lost in the identity of who they put out there that they are, right? So if you're a football player, you've been a football player since you were 5, and that's how you're known, that's how you exist, and then your career is over and you're no longer that football player. Who am I? And we try to get all of our athletes to have a life outside of what they do,
Yeah.
which is you're a guy that plays football. You're a girl that plays basketball. You are you. You do this thing. You're only going to be able to do it for so long.
Mhm.
Capitalize on it as much as you can, but make sure you have a life outside of it that you can grow with, expand with. Because whenever you retire from that thing, you're not that thing anymore, and you got to be something else, and you got to be able to transition into something else or have your life already that you
Mhm.
can just go live when that thing's done.
I take that back. I attest people anchoring to what they do based on the question that we constantly hear asked, and we would have heard it asked of our parents when we were kids,
Mhm.
which as a conversation starter is, okay, so Clint, tell me what you do. So
Yeah.
do becomes this, and then what people, the next phrase also anchors it subconsciously because they say I'm or I am, right? I am, let's say, a director. I am a football player. So now you're constantly taking this affirmation that your identity is that
Mhm.
versus if people were more intentional for conversation starters to say, tell me about you, tell me about who you are, right? Now that the
Yep.
affirmations are, I'm a father, I'm a mother. Okay, you can anchor in those, right? But those are two big
Yep.
things. The I am statement is really important. And I don't think people realize you were talking about
Oh,
conversations with ourselves.
it's
Even
big.
before I
It's a
retired
biggie.
my corporate, right. Even before I retired my corporate career and people asked, what do you do? My response was, I serve as. And when I walked away from that after 30 years, I have not missed a piece of it. My identity wasn't anchored in it, even though I did it for so long. Right.
Mhm.
So, again, for the people watching who might be going through life transitions, trying to make these changes, pick up these little things because without anybody helping coach you, you can start to create that change. Which brings me to changes for you. This is the next one.
Yeah.
It
Right.
just went right into it, Clint.
Yeah.
What did you have to let go of? Beliefs, habits, or even parts of your identity to grow into the version of yourself you are now?
Funny enough, I had to get rid of one of the things that defines me a lot of the times, which is my overarching need to plan everything. Right. And I'm going to give some credit to Ray here for this because, oh God, he's a whirlwind, right? Like I plan things out. Like I write out 3 months of planning.
Okay.
Okay. Here's my baseline plan for the next 3 months, which can all completely get altered and changed in 5 minutes when he walks in the door because there's no, it's all improv, right? You have to learn how to, so I've gotten better at improvising in life and just flowing with things
Mhm.
because they work better with that. There's still a structure and a plan and stuff like that, but it's being able to float between those two and not having this, we're just hard bound into it. Because otherwise you'll get stuck in the plan, kind of like getting stuck in an identity,
Right.
right? This is I cannot change. No, get ready to change that thing. Like here's your plan, and here's what's gonna kind of happen with the plan. The main thing is here's the little X that you're going for. We're trying to get up to that X, right?
Yeah.
Whatever the X, and make sure that X is not just a monetary thing. It's a what are we doing? Like what are we really trying to build and create for the world to improve it?
Yeah.
Because that's the biggie, the much bigger thing, right?
Yeah.
So what are we doing to make that happen? This plan is good, but oh, look what we just got it. Look what we lucked into, like the new blessing. Okay, we're still going to keep the plan, but we're going to add this thing in here, and here's how we're going to utilize it to, right? So same thing with identities, getting stuck in that. I have that issue, right? And once again, I am the health engineer, but that's because that's what I do, right?
Mhm.
Is that who I am? No, not all the time, because I'm like an artist engineer. My brain is so many other places outside of here, um, um, with things I'm interested in, things I do with this thing. Um, like this is what I do for my time period of like work, and
Right.
then when I'm off work, which is almost never, because I am a serious workaholic. Don't do that, people. And, don't do that to yourself. But it's just there because the goal is to create and build, and so
Mhm.
this thing is always creating and building. And if anything else, I am a builder and creator. That's the thing.
There
Um,
you go. Yeah.
from a health standpoint, it's the whole. I'm a diabetic. I'm gonna hit that diabetes thing because it's a massive issue
Yeah.
across the U.S. Or I am obese. No, you're not. Like you have diabetes. Yes, you
Right.
have some extra weight. You can give that away. You can get rid of it for the most part. I mean,
Yeah.
type 1 diabetic, insulin dependent, not so much, not when you were born with it. Although there's some really cool stuff coming out with stem cells for helping out with that. Um, but yeah, there's a crisis of identity at times where people like really own stuff that they shouldn't.
Yeah.
Um, and instead of like being themselves and saying, well, here's some things that I have that I can get rid of, or here's things that I do, but that's not me.
Yeah.
Um, I love listening to comedians for like the backstories themselves because they are so different off stage than they are on stage.
Yeah.
Um, and most anybody else that's like a public figure that they know themselves, and themselves off camera is not them on camera at all.
Right.
It's like two very different worlds.
Yeah, I have a friend that has a production that up in the Pacific Northwest every week, total production, you name it, outfits, totally different personalities to the point that the personality in the production has a completely different name.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Another way to
it's
sort of anchor who you are and what you do into what you do.
Yeah. Hence a lot of actors and actresses having stage names that they perform under that's different than their actual real name. So it's a total mental shift and break.
Yeah.
From when you're in that
Beyonce
thing to when you're,
Yeah. Beyonce has a stage name too. Okay. Let's see. We're going to help people change their health today, Clint. This is going to happen.
Okay.
They're going to work toward it at least. What does being independently healthy look like when someone is actually living it out day to day?
I love this question. Okay, so independently healthy, kind of like being independently wealthy, right? Same deal, which means you're not dependent on somebody else for things, right? You're not dependent on your doctor, not dependent on your therapist. You are self-directed.
Yeah.
You own it, right? Kind of like, so when I started personal healthcare reforms, specifically today, April 1st, I love April 1st. This is the 15th anniversary of me starting that whole thing for personal healthcare reform and a lot of other stuff, including.
Wow, love that.
So
look at that. Happy anniversary.
I love April 1st because people are like, you're doing April Fool's Day? Yes, because you'd be foolish not to do these things, right?
Yeah.
That's why. I've gone blank.
Independently healthy, can't depend on other people, other things.
Essentially, it is taking ownership. It's plain and simple. It is taking ownership of what you're doing for yourself from a health standpoint. So when you go see your doctor is now an advisor. They can advise you on things. They don't tell you what to do.
Right.
They can give you advice. When you see your trainer can give you advice, right? Now, if they tell you to do 20 push-ups, do 20 push-ups. Okay, don't. We want those 20. We have a reason for it. But it's everybody turns into an advisor for you. Yeah. You run your life. You decide what you're going to eat. You decide when you go to sleep. You decide if you're going to exercise that day, because maybe I'm overly tired and I just don't want to today. My body needs a rest. Okay, cool. Don't skip the workout. Come in, we'll do a rest workout, to recovery. But everybody at that point becomes an advisor. Kind of like being independently wealthy. Everybody is an advisor for you at that point. What should I invest in? You get advice on all kinds of stuff, and then you make the decision on what you're going to do based on advice.
Yeah.
Get several different versions of advice from yourself. Get on some AI. Do a little back and forth with some of that. But it comes down to making decisions for yourself, owning those decisions, living the life that you're setting up for yourself, and figuring out why you want to go that direction and how you're going to get there and get the best advice possible to do it. Right. And that's essentially it. It is personal. Okay. Your health is personal. Nobody else has your body. Nobody else has this. It's yours for life. Quite literally, okay, from the time you're born till you die, this is your thing to take care of. So, how are you going to take care of it for as long as you're going to live, as long as you want to live, right? For the things that you are here meant to do here on earth.
Yeah, I found, and some people to get to independent need an accountability partner, which is where a personal trainer can come in. I'll be completely transparent. Going to the gym is not my favorite thing to do in the world. And what I found is what will make me go is if it's a scheduled class and I have booked it, because I won't waste other people's time, even though as a human, I'll waste my own.
Yep.
Right.
It's an appointment you've made with somebody else, and I'm not going to stand them up. Right. That does help out. That's usually why we're here, more as an accountability thing than anything else.
Yeah.
And which I do tell people, like, yes, you're paying, but you're not really paying me. You're investing back in yourself.
Yes.
You're making an investment every month. You're paying me to help you take advantage of that investment and invest well and get some really good returns, just like in the stock market. You invest in the stock market, you want good returns. You put money into me, you want good returns. Okay. So the goal is to make sure you're getting good returns year after year after year until, and it is very much like the stock market from a health standpoint. Like there's a point where it just grows, right?
Mm-hmm.
The money's there, it just grows, and it gets, money doesn't grow on trees. Yes, it does. It produces fruit. You sell fruit, that's money. So, you just have to plant the thing and tend it and garden it. And then when it grows, it flourishes and it gives back continuously.
Being disciplined. Yeah, you have to be disciplined about it.
Yeah, it is a discipline thing. It is also the return on investment that you get over the course of the years, which means, yes, you start off, you're working out hard, you're going 4 days, 5 days a week, right? You're making progress. And then eventually it's kind of like, you can do 3 days a week and still get all the results because you've got residuals. You've gotten healthy. You have good, healthy cells. They're regenerating, right? So your body starts running on, I want to be lean. I like being healthy. And then you give it something bad, and your body's like, what did you do to me last night? I'm going to punish you for that.
Yeah.
Don't do that again. Give me the good stuff you were giving me. But if you're on bad stuff all the time, you'll never know. You'll never realize it.
Right.
Because you're just in that, right? You start doing all the good stuff. It takes 18 months. I'll let everybody know. 18 months, a year and a half. Mark that on your calendar when you start. It's 18 months. Okay, it takes that long to get everything to become new and renewed. And then your body at that point, it's not even a habit anymore. It's a lifestyle. It is just what you do. You wake up, you have some breakfast, you go work out, you go to work, come home, you sleep, and it's just there in your day. And the more that you do it and your kids do it, it keeps on going. But 18 months, I want to emphasize that greatly. The 18 months is that's a milestone right there. Because once you hit it, you really just don't go back.
Yeah. And that's really good for people to know. I was at an event with Dean Graciosi. I don't know, it's been a few weeks now. And one of the things Dean was talking about was people say, oh, set these goals. Like 18 months in today's society is a long time.
Oh, yeah, it's really long.
Right? And humans, we tend to give up on ourselves if the goal is for ourselves. Right. And one of the things that Dean recommended was, what is my goal through this week? And make it a point to hit it. What is my goal through the next week? And make it a point to hit it. As a coach, the way I tell people to set that goal is, what is the absolute most reasonable amount that will do? People don't want to say, well, I'll go to the gym 1 day a week. Well, 1 day is better than no days. And if 1 day is what you can do, don't say 3. Quit lying to yourself. Quit failing yourself, right? Set reasonable, really short goals to help you get to the 18 months.
Oh yeah, sure. set up the calendar for 18 months, and then have your monthly, weekly, daily, right? Plans change.
Yes, they do.
And it's consistency. It's starting to have some consistent effort. I read a really cool thing yesterday, 2 days ago, about quit tomorrow. If you're going to quit tomorrow. The trick here is that tomorrow never comes, because every time you wake up is today.
Right.
So if you're contemplating quitting, quit tomorrow, because when you wake up, you woke up today, so tomorrow is the next day. It never gets here, right? So it's the constant one foot in front of the other, and it's tough. It's hard. Like, you got to have a support group around you. So husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, anything like that, or your friends group, whatever. Like, if they're with you and supportive, great. If they're doing it with you, even better. Because that's a big, man. I don't even want to get into that one. That's a whole another 2-hour conversation right there. Make sure your partner is there with you. Okay. Partnership is great as long as there is support and it's going the same direction. So if one of you decides to lose weight and the other one decides that you're not going to, you ain't losing weight.
Yeah.
They will make sure that doesn't happen.
When Vince and I, my husband, when we first met, He's in the gym 5, 6 days a week, sometimes 7. It's his stress relief. He calls it his stress relief. That's how he anchors his workouts. And when we first started dating, he thought I was going to tell him he goes to the gym too much. So we're having this conversation. It was a little intense in the moment. And he goes,
Yeah.
"You're going to want me to not go to the gym." I went, "How about you go now?" Like, right? So that was a big thing, right? Because it's important to him, which is great. I learned why I wasn't going. So for others on here, you got to figure out what's holding you back, because we lie to ourselves too much. Which brings me to this one. Let's see. What perspectives on health have you developed that tend to challenge how most people think? What are perspectives on health that you've developed that tend to challenge how most people think?
Most people think you have to beat yourself up to do this, which is completely wrong. This is a love thing, right? This is a self-love, self-care, self-preservation thing, right?
Yeah.
You can't beat yourself into better health, okay? It doesn't work, because it's hard. It's abuse. It's self-abusive, right? Now, there are people in the gym that are self-abusive and they're here to punish themselves, which, is not the reason to be here. And it's short-lived and it's self-destructive. But it's a self-love thing, and you have to look at it more of I'm doing this for myself.
Yeah.
And I'm doing it to feel good, right? Because nobody wants to do anything that feels bad, at least not in the beginning, until you get used to, getting past the challenges, right? The first challenge is walking in. I will say finding the right place to be helps out. Every gym has a personality. Okay, there's personalities in the gyms, but every gym, every training center, every facility has its own personality. They're not the same. You walk into this one, it's got its own personality. You walk into this one, different personality. Find the place where you're comfortable.
Yeah.
Find the place where you feel wanted, where you like what's going on. You don't like lifting weights? Fine. Go dance. Go walk. Go run. Go do something. It comes down,
Pilates,
really comes down.
yoga, Zumba.
It comes down to consider the main thing. You move.
Yeah.
Just go move. Your body's made to move, right?
Yeah.
Now, some people are made to do yoga. Some people are made to lift really heavy weights. Some people are made to run far distances. Some people are made to sprint. Like, everybody has this thing their body's really built for. That's why we have athletes that are better at certain things than others. That's why we have sprinters and we have long distance runners. You'll never have those two together. Okay. It doesn't happen. Unless you're a genetic freak. But find the thing that you like to do. If you like go dancing, go dance, go have some fun. The main thing is do some movement, but realize that if you do that one thing too much, you're going to start getting injured. Okay. So this, because it's too focused on one thing, and it'll unbalance you, right? It'll unbalance you and it puts you on one side and things start to wear, right? So whenever you find the thing that moves you the most, do that 80% of the time. And then the other 20% of the time, find other stuff to do. Yes, you do need to do weight training. Okay. Women, especially, yes, you need to do weight training with some heavy stuff on occasion. Why? Because it's really good for your bones, really good for the muscles, really good for emotional system. Very great for that, because you feel stronger, right? You lift something heavy and you're like, ooh, man, that was kind of cool. But bone health, huge. Bone, muscle, stuff like that. Balance. And the other thing is, this stuff in here is not about that, okay? This is the side benefit. This is the outside. It's the brain. Your brain is working the entire time you're in here. This is Sudoku on steroids, okay? Quite literally, because your mind-muscle connection grows, it expands. Your brain actually expands and increases. The neural activity improves. Stress relief is massive, right? Because you get in here, you get low in oxygen, and your body responds. And with that, you feel good. The whole runner's high, right? I got runner's high, I feel fantastic. Well, one, you got major hypoxia, you need some extra oxygen, you need some glycogen. You're literally high right now. But same thing happens in here, but you get all the endorphins, you get the feel-good molecules.
Right.
Your body actually produces more feel-good molecules the more you're in here. It's just, you have to find the reason and want to come in here. And a lot of that comes down to, who are you hanging out with? Are they going to be there with you? And if not, it's rough unless you want to kind of walk by yourself for a little bit, which is really rough unless you're a major introvert and you're very self-directed. But if you got to have like people around all the time, that's why gyms are really good, because you do have people around. Like, you'll be in the community if it's the right, if it's the right gym for you. So visit a couple of gyms and find the one where it's like Cheers. Okay, when you walk in, Norm, you want to turn into Norm and Fraser and everybody else, and you're part of the group. You just want to be lifting dumbbells instead of beers all day. But yeah, that's the biggie. It's a lift yourself up, not a beat yourself down. Okay.
Mm.
And I'm going to bag on the fitness industry right quick, because we really make it look like a beat yourself down or beat yourself up, and you can't.
Yeah.
If you come in here to just beat yourself and thrash yourself and crawl out of here and think, oh, that was a great workout. No, that was not that was a horrible workout, unless you're trying to be a highly competitive athlete. And even then, not so much. Trying to be a bodybuilder, yeah, it's a great workout, because that is total self-abuse. Hate to say it, but it is, with a pretty smile. Because those workouts are rough. But yeah, the goal is to lift yourself. You should feel better walking out than when you walked in.
Yeah.
And if you don't feel better when you walk out than when you walked in, you didn't really accomplish what you set out to accomplish here.
Right. What if somebody watching, because the same exercise, for those who've been with us the entire time, of when we're talking about health, why aren't you working out? Right? Make the list, because they say, I work too much, or business travel too much, or just write all the things down that you're telling yourself as an excuse to not allow your body to be healthy. Write them out and then read each one. And is it factual, or is it just an excuse? And if it's an excuse, such as, I do too much business travel, as an example, what you have to do then is, to the right of it is, right, what needs to be done so I can do this while I business travel? That could be taking bands, right? It could be working out at a hotel fitness room.
The hotels now, you can't even use that excuse, because the hotels now will bring equipment to your room, or most of them have like remodified, and they got great workout facilities, or they're next to a gym, or you can go online and do virtual stuff. By the way, I'm going to plug myself right quick. I have a full 60-day in-home program you can do anywhere, anytime, no equipment needed. Okay, I put it together during COVID. I'm re-releasing it right now, but it's free for everybody to use whenever, right? OBBM. So OBBM app, that's going to be on Roku. It's on Apple TV, Amazon Fire, or you can just go on YouTube. On my channel, just type in Clint Fuqua, I'll pop up. But it's going to be out there everywhere. It's a freebie. Just go do it. Go do it. Enjoy. It's there for people to use, right? But outside of that, I mean, you can. There's 10 million virtual programs out there to go on, stuff in there. So the excuses are just, they're really not valued most of the time, because I'm like, dude, I work 16 hours a day. Granted, yes, I work in a gym. Okay, I own a gym. I've got 2 different gyms I can go to. I get it, but I got clients all day too, right? And there's some days I just don't want to do it. Honestly, there are days I'm just like, and I feel way better afterwards. But it's just a quick little 20-minute just to move around, right? And have some sanity. But and also find a place to start.
Sorry, Clint, I just interrupted you, but I went to go grab your YouTube channel. I'm like, look at that hair.
Oh yeah. Sorry. So this is the spring
on the Harlequin movie, on the Harlequin.
Oh yeah. I used to have 2.5 feet of hair. I was very rock star for a while there. I used to donate my hair, so I grow it out and shave it off. That's why I had all the lovely, crazy, wild locks. And you'll see, if you ever seen the pictures of me with like 2.5 feet, it's a lion's mane of wildness.
Wow.
Okay,
Love that.
this is because I'm on the track right now, and I've gone crazy this year at 49. My goal is a 49 second 400. Anybody that runs knows how fast that is. Okay, crazy. So just proving that what we do works, even for old slow white dudes.
Yeah.
But yeah, find a place to start. If you don't want to start working out yet, sleep. Focus on the sleep. Okay, get 8 hours. Okay, focus on getting the 8 hours. Or you notice I've been drinking this all day. Well, we can talk about the blue stuff later. But hydrate. Okay.
Yeah.
Huge study came out of A&M looking at the difference one bottle a day makes on health, and it was massive. Just one of these. Okay, don't mind the microplastics and everything. An extra bottle of water is massive for improving health outcomes for everybody because you are slightly more hydrated. Just side note, your goal for everybody out there is like 6 of these a day.
I drink 100 ounces a day, roughly, is what I tend to get in.
But most people have bottles, so like they're used to that.
I know people that don't drink 8 ounces of water a day.
Oh yeah, no, I got athletes that walk in here. How much have you had today? Oh, I think I've had like a cup. Get out. Just you're not working out today. Get out of here. So hydrate, please hydrate. But yeah. Start with the simple, easy stuff, okay? The simple, easy stuff. Sleep. You do it every night. Optimize that. You have
hydrate.
Work on the hydration, right? Add a little bit of salt to it, okay? Pink stuff, gray stuff. Sprinkle it, shake it, drink it, okay?
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, well, because you got to have the minerals. It keeps you in. He'll tell you that. He'll tell you how important hydration is all day.
There you go. All right.
There we go.
I'm already. I'm done with almost a liter.
Yeah. He's already a liter in. I'm like 3 liters in already today, but I've been up since 5.
I haven't been up since 5.
Yeah.
All right. So we have sleep, hydrate, and as we're wrapping up, what do you want to make sure that they know too?
Yeah, sleep and hydration. Those because they're simple, easy things. Yeah. They're easy to not do, and that's one of the main issues. They are really easy to not do. So if you can focus on that initially and just start there and then work on this thing and get that thing going, that helps out tremendously.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you'll start feeling better. It's like, okay, I am feeling better. Maybe I should go work out. Right. It's the whole, which one comes first, the egg or the chicken? I don't care. Pick one. Take the egg, take the chicken. Have one of them because you'll end up, if you start with the egg, you'll end up with a chicken. If you start with the chicken, you'll end up with an egg. Okay. Pick one and go with that, and you'll end up having both of them. So start with the diet and then go to the exercise, or start with the exercise and then go to the diet. If you exercise first, you're going to want to start eating better because you're going to feel horrible the next time you have that fried thing. So it comes down to find the simple, an easy thing to do. Everybody does like 75 hard in January. Don't do that to yourself, okay? Unless you've been working out. Do a 30 easy. 30 days of easy stuff. Go out for like a 15-minute walk, right? Yeah. Drink an extra bottle of water. Get an extra hour of sleep a night. Pick the easy stuff, and then you can start doing some harder stuff. Get some wins. Get some really easy wins. Yeah. Build up, your capacity, and build up your, hey, I can do this thing. I used to have one of these a day. Now I'm having 6 of them a day. I feel pretty good now. So start with the easy wins, and then start building up, and then you can start doing harder and harder and harder stuff.
Sure. Well, and I'm sure Ray keeps coming in because I've kept you long. So before we wrap,
actually, you can see we're actually doing some. We're doing some work in there too.
So as we're wrapping, if people want to get in touch with you, if they have questions, maybe want to find out more about possibly working with you, I've already dropped your YouTube channel for the 60-day training workout you talked about. How would they get in touch with you?
Easy way. You can pop my name into Google. All my stuff pops up. Okay. Because I'm easily searchable. All social media, I'm on there. Everything's under my name. Type in Olympic Fit. Our gym pops up. So I make it really easy to find me and us
Love that.
for that. Or you can type in the health engineer. I'll usually pop up under that moniker too. Yeah, that's it. And it's really easy to find. Olympic Fit's probably the easiest because it's there and it
Right.
shows you a lot of what we do. And I've got links for everything. My YouTube's on there, like his show's on there.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I make sure it's easy to find us and get in contact.
Yeah. Well, Clint, thank you so much for being on. And I know that this is going to help a lot of people. And I look forward to seeing you hopefully in person here pretty soon.
Oh yeah. I'm sure Tammy will have something coming up and we'll both be there with everybody else and tons of amazing people. So I'm glad we bumped into each other at the last event.
Yes.
Because we've like missed each other here and there. And
Yeah.
You're here.
Exactly. Nope. I was super grateful. So everyone, thank you. And we'll see you next week for the Make It Count podcast.
Okay. Bye.